Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a scrolling list as well as a tab bar. Let's get started on the scrolling list first. So I'll tap R to create a new layer, and we'll Alt drag to duplicate that. So this will be the content of our, it could be our news feed or anything else like that. I'll turn up the radius, so this could be like a profile picture. And just dial this in a little bit. So that looks pretty good. I'll shift click both and now Alt drag to duplicate. And we'll get 3 of these just so that you can scroll a good bit. So now all this content goes off the bottom of the screen, and in order to make it scroll, we're going to have to group it. So we'll shift click in the layer list to select all of them, and we'll click group. Now the final step to make it scrollable is we just turn on vertical scrolling on the group. So now we have the scrolling, but you'll notice it doesn't really let us scroll down anymore. And that's because the group is the same size as the contents. So in order to scroll, the contents have to go outside of the group. So I'm just going to drag this group, fit it inside the screen, and now I can scroll all the way to the bottom and it works great. One final note is you'll notice that here when I scroll, this layer is going off the top of the group. But you can still see it. If you wanted to change this behavior and make it so it gets masked by the group, you can turn on Clip Children. So now as I drag, you'll see that the layer gets cut off by the corner of the group. So you may want that, but right now I'm going to leave it off. And let's get to work on our second screen. So I'll add another artboard. And in this artboard, we can add a rectangle, and I don't know what this rectangle is. It could be settings or an image you dragged in from Finder, whatever you'd like. We'll change it to another color. And so these are our 2 screens, but right now there's no way to navigate between them. So let's add a tab bar. So I'm just going to add 2 rectangles that take up half of the bottom of the screen. Duplicate that by dragging. And let's make them different colors just to make it clear that they're different layers. And these could just as well be images from Photoshop or Sketch, but I want you to be able to follow along. So we have our 2 screens. Now we're going to say when we tap this first layer, it'll take us back to this screen. And we need the tab bar on this screen as well, so we'll select these 2, copy, paste. And now when you tap the blue layer, we'll make it so it takes you to this screen. So you see these 2 events get created for us. So now we can click the 2 tabs and we get taken between the 2 screens, and our scrolling still works like you'd expect. Now one final note is if you have 2 layers with the same name on 2 artboards, so like here we have layer 8 and over here we have layer 8, Principle will automatically animate between them. So if we change this height to say, this could indicate that you're on the first tab, and on this screen we change the height to indicate you're on the second tab. Now when we click between them, their heights animate. And that works for any layers that have the same name across the artboards. So it just makes it really easy to animate. And if you wanted to tweak this animation, you could just click the transition that you'd like to change the animation, and you can start to edit these keyframes. So we can make this take a really long time to animate. So let's try that. So you see it animates very slowly. And we could make that a spring animation if we wanted, or we could use any custom curve and just customize that to our liking. And that's it. Thanks for watching.